Before we get going too far, I did want to take a moment and just give you a quick what's new. This isn't by far all of the options, but for those people that are somewhat familiar with InfraWorks, I did want to touch on some of the nice enhancements that we did just recently receive. So first off, Model Builder, which was technically a technology preview in previous versions, is now a standard feature, which is really nice. It allows you to quickly assemble a model without having to go out and take the time to collect the various bits of data. So it'll utilize USGS servers, city, county, and statewide servers that are available to you to generate terrain, imagery, GIS road design data, building information, water bodies, things like that. So it's nice to be able to have that available to us. And a few other neat little things they've done to it now is you can now generate models with irregular polygons, and that's kind of nice. Or you can define your area through a shapefile. So that's pretty helpful as well. Some of the usability improvements, you'll notice that in here, and I'm going to jump to it in just a moment, that it organizes your models much better. Things are much simpler and easier to get to, whether they're local on your desktop, within your work group, or cloud-based. We've also included the new support for the OBJs and collada files. And so now you can add animations to your models, which previously they were just stills. And so that's a nice feature as well. And then also another standard feature they've included is the new screencast feature. And this is great for managers, CAD managers, anybody who wants to demonstrate functionality or features to their staff or to maybe one of their subs. It generates recordings of you performing certain tasks so that you can share those videos with other people. So the collaboration has been improved quite a bit as well. Now you can store your models on a network drive, which is nice. And so that's pretty helpful. Also, you can publish your models with the new web viewer interface, which will also include the scenarios, where previously it was only scenarios. And now we have the streamline web mobile synchronizing, which generates scenarios pretty quickly. Some of the modeling enhancements, point clouds, they can now be themed, so you can get different visual looks, elevational ranges, height maps, things like that, to give you a little more character and depth to the point clouds that you're loading up into your file. As I mentioned before, the collada files are now available for animation, so that's kind of nice. And we have enhanced Revit interoperability. So when you bring in your Revit models, now it will support all of your materials and things like that much better. So everything comes over a lot cleaner. Another nice thing that is available is, again, I mentioned this earlier, the ability to take an InfraWorks model and open it in Civil 3D. And previously, again, you had to export that out to an IMX file and then import it, which kind of gave you a static version of it. So now you can actually bring in the InfraWorks model live into Civil 3D, and then you can even make changes in Civil 3D, and then you can go back to your InfraWorks and see those changes updated on the fly. So not a lot of import-export features that we had to do before. So that's going to be available to you for things like your design roads, intersections, coverage areas, bridges, as well as pipe networks. And then in reverse, kind of in a loop scenario, you can load your Civil 3D drawings now directly into InfraWorks. And again, if you make any changes, they will simultaneously update. So nice features there as well. And that's going to be horizontal and vertical profiles, as well as your corridor modeling, and again, pipe networks and bridge designs. As for the transportation design enhancements, you can now convert GIS roads into design roads, which is nice. Profile grade elements now have locking capabilities, so you can hold certain points as you make changes to others. And then new cut fill geometry data improves the analysis of large roadways, and we'll take a look at a little bit of that as well. The intersection design has improved quite a bit, and I plan on demonstrating this for you today because this is a really nice feature. It gives you much more control over the intersections as they're created based upon turning radius, things like that, as well as vehicle types. And it also controls paint striping, so you'll get little weight paint markers and things like that, which previously didn't really include that information, so that's kind of nice. Also gives you a little more control over the medians, and also support for left-handed driving. So let's take a look at developing a new model. So you can create your models from all different types of data. There's lots of information out there available to you. And InfraWorks will bring in many of the Autodesk resident file types. So you're going to be able to get your AutoCAD, your Civil 3D, Navisworks, Map 3D, Revit, as well as your 3D Max stuff. And so besides that, you're also going to be able to receive all of your data that you've collected on your own. So GIS data, 3D models, 2D models, any kind of raster data, that's all going to be available to you as well. So here's the primary connection types that you can connect to. So you have 3D models, which are going to be your 3D Max, your FBXs, OBJs, that sort of thing. You're also going to get your Civil 3D drawings, which I mentioned, and your IMX is your resident InfraWorks file extension type, IMX file. You can also bring in your city GMLs and XMLs, as well as your LiDAR data, raster design images, your Revit models, any GIS data you may have, as well as SQLite, and now you can even bring in SketchUp. So that's kind of nice as well. Besides that, there's lots of different places that have free access to data online. So many counties, DOTs, things like that, you can go right to their website or even just do a quick search, such and such city, GIS, and it'll pull down a list of data that's available to you. You can also go to the USGS, Google, Trimble Warehouse, FEMA, things like that.